interactions.
Yeah.
Live stream. Got it.
Do you know the number, Andy?
63.
Got it. 63.
63.
Oh, that makes sense. Life in the fast lane.
At 62. Let me put this link up now before we start recording, actually.
Yeah, last week you just did the WrestleMania sign. I don't think people knew what we were talking about. Maybe take a photo of us.
What happened? Oh, hold on. Boom. Oh, one more. Got it.
Life in the fast lane.
Are you a tube? And I be charging. iPod is charging. iPod is charging. It's not dying. Say it. It's not dying. I'm really mad I just figured that out now, too.
Yeah, I don't know how you didn't figure that out beforehand.
I mean,
I always thought the normal blocks had the 2 amp charge. I know Apple phones usually charge really quick.
I know mine does.
Life in the fast lane.
Hold on 1 second. We're letting people come in. Andy, you got it? You know what we're at?
Yeah.
So this conversation is so off the cuff right now. We don't know what we're talking about, but we know what we're talking about. If that makes sense.
Facts.
So you know what we're talking about. You know what we're talking about. We're talking about dashing in the fast lane.
Yeah. Dashing in the fast lane.
Life in the dash lane. No, it's life in the dash lane.
Yeah, life in the dash lane.
Life in the dash lane. Life in the dash lane. All right, say what? 1 minute?
Yeah, so there is no sticker. If y'all are listening, G-Hub, Grubhub, pick it up. There ain't no stickers for you on social media, so I can't promote y'all.
Right. How do we do that, yo? How do we do it?
I don't know. You know what we need? We need a disaster party podcast
sticker. I don't know how we do that, but
I have no idea either. But I'd love to figure it out. Life in the dash lane. That's gonna be stuck in my head now.
Sorry.
Life in the dash lane? Yeah.
Life in the dash lane.
Are you gonna make it rhyme?
I am.
With life in the dash lane?
I mean,
can you make that work? The number and the dash lane?
I could attempt it.
Life in the dash lane. All right, ready?
Yeah, I'll figure it out.
All right, cool.
Oh! Here we go.
You ready?
Ready.
3, 2, 1. Welcome to Disaster Party Podcast. As always, this is Rob Cedeno, joined by my co-host.
Oh, daddy. It's your boy Andy Bivians. It's B-I-V-I-A-N-S for I am the one true, whoa, daddy of Bivians, I-N-C, and your American icon. Tonight we got Life in the Dash Lane, and it's our key, because tonight we're on episode 63. Whoa, daddy.
Whoa, daddy. And we're bringing on a return guest. We got our boy, Jason.
What would?
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me. I'm Jason, known to some as Jay Ragan. It's my pleasure to be here. Thanks again, guys.
Jay Ragged.
Ba, 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 ba.
If you didn't know, Jay Ragged has been on one of our wrestling episodes before, but today we are not talking about wrestling. We are talking all things, I guess, food delivery services, including DoorDash, Grubhub, even maybe some Uber Eats, some Lyfts. I don't know, anything. We're going to talk about it all. So if you have any interest in ever knowing how this works, how it doesn't work, how much money you average, how much of a pain in the ass it is sometimes, what are the good things about it, what are the absolute worst things about it, and we're going to touch about all of it because the three of us here have currently or have actively or previously done one of the above.
Facts on facts on facts.
Yeah.
I can't wait because I got stories for days.
Ooh. Then
Oh boy.
How should we start this? We haven't really had a structure for this at all. Should we just talk about what apps we are using and just the overall experience of onboarding onto this app? So like how easy it is to, get involved, what does it take, maybe how much effort, like how much time does it take, that, and then like that's just the onboarding stuff, and then we'll go into how difficult or easy it is. Then we could talk about the average money, and then we could talk about like good and bad stories.
I'm down with all of that.
Sounds good to me.
All right. So for me, I think I'm the easiest one here. I have only done DoorDash, and it was a pretty easy process. You just kind of put in your information. It put me on a waiting list for a couple days because I guess the area was too busy, so they had to wait until whatever, and then I got approved, and then literally it was just click and go. For me,
Okay,
it wasn't that hard.
Okay. What about you, Jason?
Well, for me I actually drive for all three simultaneously: Uber Eats, DoorDash, and Grubhub. The processes for all three were pretty much the same. Put in your info. I think for Grubhub, I was on a waiting list for maybe like a week or two because it was been really busy. But once you're approved, do the background check process. Wait a couple of days for you to get your little purchase card for some orders that you'll have to do, and then it's just once you have that, you're good. Click and go.
I completely forgot about the bag and the card and all that stuff because I barely.
Yeah,
I've never used the bag, but the card I barely use.
I'll use the bag depending on my mood.
That's fair. See, I feel like these applications knew that once I put my information in, they knew I was the D-Dash boy / G-Hub boy, and I'm just trying to make it. I'm just saying, because I think I'm the only one out of all of my friends that did not get on a waiting list. Like, I got accepted right away. And yeah, I use the bags all the time. I actually use both bags at the same time. Especially if I get like two orders, I'll just put one order in one bag, one order in the other. Or if I get like an ice cream deal and like some hot food, I'll put the hot food in one bag and then the ice cream in the other. Also, pro tip, if you go to Dunkin' or you go to any place, get those carrying drink trays and put it inside the bag, and then put the drink inside the bag and zip the bag. Then it can sit in your seat and it won't spill everywhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've never had a drink spill, even
Yeah,
without
never
that
mind.
tip. But that's a good tip.
See, they're scary though, especially Dunkin' orders.
Oh, see, they normally for the couple of times, well, I used to do Dunkin', I was getting all the time. They would put the Dunkin' drinks in the bag already.
Now they do.
Oh.
Before they would just hand you the tray and be like, "Here you go," and then
Oh,
you'd be
yeah, that's
sitting there
dangerous.
trying to like rock around, trying to not spill anything. And yeah, and they're flimsy too, so like they suck unless you like double stack them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate those trays. Usually I get a lot of places that will double stack them. If I feel the drinks are light enough, I'll take one of the trays, keep it in my car, just for the next order that I get drinks that won't have a tray. But because they're so flimsy, I actually did spend the money for the 6-cup carrier from DoorDash,
Oh wow.
and that I use all
Oh.
the time with the heat bag. And I'll tell you, that thing's been a lifesaver.
I
I
didn't
didn't
even know
even
they
know they
had
had that.
Oh yeah,
Jinx.
oh yeah,
Jinx.
yeah. They got one
I
that
have
folds up and it's made of the same material as the bags.
I have
It's
to
like
look
$20
into
though, so it's like,
That's not bad.
but it's not bad though, especially if you're getting like smoothie orders or like
mhm.
ice cream orders from McDonald's and it's like just like the order or Burger King. Burger King does that a lot. They'll give you the little smoothie gimmick, but they'll give you like the bag itself. They won't put it all in one bag. So like if you get a lot of those, that's good because then you can just plop it in there. It'll stay cold.
Oh yeah.
So what do you guys, Andy, did you, no, you haven't said you're doing Grubhub and DoorDash, right?
Yeah, yeah, I do
Yeah.
both.
Um, Coming from someone who's only done one, and then Andy does two, and then Jason does three. So look at that. Perfect. Um, between the different apps for you guys, what do you think the biggest difference is compared to, let's just say, DoorDash? And then we can break down each of the apps.
Well, I started doing. I didn't start all three at the same time. I started doing Grubhub for a while. I did that exclusively for a few months, and then I started doing DoorDash, and then just recently, in the last maybe 2 months, I started doing Uber Eats. I would say the biggest difference for me, in my experience, is that Grubhub tends to pay more per order. Maybe because the area I'm in, I live 2 blocks from a mall that has a lot of restaurants. So, but I also noticed that with Grubhub, the wait times are more.
Hmm.
Okay.
So, so I think they're. I'm just going based on theory here, but I think when Grubhub sends the driver the order info, the driver gets assigned before the order goes to the restaurant, as
Oh, that's
opposed to
annoying.
yeah, because then when I go pick up a Grubhub order, let's say I go to like Shake Shack, I could be waiting there like 15 minutes for the order to be ready. But for Uber and DoorDash, and I get Shake Shack orders all the time between all three, Uber Eats and DoorDash, 95% of the time, the food's already done. Grubhub, I'm always waiting. So I think their system is a bit different.
So maybe that's
Yeah.
why the higher payout, because they know you're waiting longer.
Possibly.
Hmm.
It sucks in
See,
the
I see
winter though.
a
Oh yeah, it does.
I see a higher payout on Grubhub. And I think you're right. They could because I've been right around the corner and gotten an order. I'm like, all right, bet. Like I'll go pick it up. And then I get there and they're like, yeah, we just got the order. Like that's gonna be another like 25 minutes. And I'm like, all
It's like,
right.
I got this
But
order on my phone 15 minutes ago.
yeah,
Yeah.
but you can the payout is higher. So like you'll get a higher payout for less miles drive. So it kind of balances it out. Like when that happens to me, I'll be like, all right, I'm gonna go get gas and then I'll come back or like I'll go use the bathroom if I've been like on the road for a while.
Mhm.
With DoorDash, it's good, but I feel like your acceptance is smaller for a bigger uh mile driven. But when you get there, you could have that hidden pay. So the tip
Hmm.
could be higher but that's not also necessarily the case.
Guaranteed.
But yeah, but the one thing I do like about them with that Dasher Direct card, if you use that to get gas, you get cash back on your gas. And say like you dash for like an hour, you get $20, you use it, fill up your tank, you're good to go. Then I would jump from DoorDash to Grubhub just to get the bigger payout. I got to do get gas again. I'll either go from there or I'll just redo it all over again
Hmm.
and then you can slide that back onto your card whenever you want to cash out your cash back, so to speak. So it's, I think you're right. Like the system is a little different. Like I think DoorDash sends it to the restaurant uh, first, and then it'll find a driver. I think Grubhub's just like, nah, we're everybody's getting notified at once.
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting. So I mean, for me, like I like the DoorDash app because it's pretty easy. Again, I haven't used the other two, so I'll explain that one. Um, your order pops up. It'll say where you're picking it up from. It will say the miles, and then it will say the distance. Right. Then you accept or deny, and then you drive to the store. You go there. You say that you've arrived. You grab the food, you say you've picked up the food, and then you use the app to GPS you to the store, and you can either hand it or photo for those who don't know. It's pretty simple. The driver aspect of DoorDash is pretty simple. It's pretty straightforward. Um, yeah, but I know that Andy and I have talked about like a lot of tips that we've done. And for me, my experience, I do it in my area, which is a lot of restaurants and stuff, but the payouts are so low. It would be like 3 miles for $2. And I'm like, And the tip we've always heard is you want to get $1 for at least every mile. So it's a lot of the times in my area, it's like $3 for 5 miles, or stuff like that. And you're like, and then I just ended up denying a lot of orders, and my acceptance rate was like 65%.
Oh, same with DoorDash. Oh, it's insane. Like I see a lot of those orders as well. Actually, most of the time with DoorDash, where it'll be like $2.50 for about like 3 miles or 4 miles, what have you. And it's like I turn those down a lot. Like my acceptance rate right now I think is like at literally 20% right now. Because
Wow.
I'm turning down so much. I'm just like, and for me, the $1 per mile for me is like a rule of thumb. I like to do a minimum of like $7 per order.
Okay.
Whether the $7 total, whether that's like $5 pay with like a $1 tip, whatever. That's because I do this part time, so that's kind of how I like to really. That's my rule of thumb for me, and it's worked out pretty well.
Okay. All right. That's pretty cool. Yeah, so when I first started, I asked Rob, I'd have both apps running at the same time. I got an order for DoorDash and I got an order from Grubhub. Guess what? One's going south and the north. And I would get there, so I stopped doing that and kind of pulled that back. But for DoorDash, I've realized that if your acceptance rate is like within the top dashers, so I think it's like top like 75 to 80% acceptance rate for that next month. If you hit top dasher, you can dash whenever you want to. So like a lot of times when you open up the app, it sees that it's like not busy and it says like scheduled or whatever. They're still working and operating for the people who put in like that scheduled block. But if you're part of the top dasher, you can dash whenever you want to, and that's like sometimes that's helpful because you want to dash earlier than later, and you can't because you got a schedule. If you have that top one, then you could just go do what you got to do early and then not worry about it. But and with Grubhub, I feel like it's uh it's got that same thing, so to speak,
Yeah.
but not as much.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
The thing I don't like about Grubhub is like I don't like DoorDash and sometimes Uber Eats. They'll have like their surges for like a certain couple of hours or a specific time during the day. They'll pay like an extra $1.50 per order. Grubhub,
I've seen as high as 4.
yeah, I think the highest I've gotten is probably like 3, but that's rare. Typically it's like in the extra $1 to $2 range for my area typically because my area is really busy all the time. So they're not going to give out that many bonuses unless it's like overnight hours, which I don't do.
Yeah, neither do I.
Yeah.
Nothing's ever open too when they want you to do it. So like you got just Wendy's or something.
Oh,
Um,
Andy, we'll get into that later. I know that's for sure.
with Grubhub, they sometimes will do bonuses, but a lot of it is like there'll be like a caveat where like, oh, we'll pay you an extra 5 or an extra $10 if you complete 3 orders, but you can't reject more than like 2 orders. So, and sometimes Grubhub, at least in the last few months, the payouts per at least on some offers I've seen have been a little bit lower than they used to be. So it's kind of like you gotta weigh your options at that moment. Yeah.
How's
In
Uber
terms,
Eats compared to the other two?
Uber Eats it's okay. Um, I don't get that many or I don't take that many orders from Uber Eats as often. Because I would say the payouts out of the 3 are typically the worst on average.
Oh wow.
Okay.
But usually what I do, because since I do it part time, is like I have a regular 9 to 5. So during the week after work, I turn on all three apps at the same time.
Okay.
Whenever I get an offer that I feel is the best, I'll take it. I'll pause the other two, do my delivery, then turn the other two back on.
Mm,
And I like to make during the week. I like to make anywhere between $30 to $40, 30 to 40, or even $50, which I can make in like 2 hours, 2.5 hours.
yeah.
And honestly, as long as I hit that total of whatever I want to hit for that night, I don't care what platform it's coming from. So I don't schedule anymore. I used to heavily in the beginning, but now it's like, no, I just turn them on, do my delivery, I hit my total, I'm good. So that's usually how I do it.
How does sorry, and I know you wanna
Yeah, you're good.
I know DoorDash, right? You can either get it paid on the card, like your pay, or you can get it direct deposited, and it direct deposits on Tuesday. How are the pay? How does the? I know Andy. How about Andy? You tell me how Grubhub works, and Jason, since you use Uber uh, Eats, can you explain that one?
And you want to go first with the Grubhub?
Sure. So for Grubhub, you can cash out every day up to like $500. If you don't cash out, which I'm so glad you reminded me of that, if you don't cash out before midnight on Sunday, then it will automatically cash out on Monday, but it won't get to you until Thursday. Um, and then that's direct deposited right into your account. Um, I feel like, no, yeah, I lost my original thought.
So when you say you could pull it out every day, is that on a card or direct deposit into your account?
Direct deposit into your account.
Oh, okay. So then why would it
Yeah.
take if you don't do it on Sunday? It will take from Monday to Thursday, but then you could pull out every day and it's instant.
Because you can do an instant cash out every day for up to $500. And then if you
Oh, okay.
don't, then it's like I think that's like their like normal like pay, like you get paid like once a week. I think it's like their normal cycle is like to get paid
Got
on
it.
Thursdays. So if you don't cash out, whatever you don't cash out Sunday before midnight, it'll go into their like normal pay cycle. But you can cash it out on Sunday and be completely fine, and then Monday do whatever you got to do, and then recash out again.
Got it. Got it. Got
Yeah. Well, with Grubhub, like the instant cash out. The other thing is that for each instant cash out, Grubhub does they charge you a 50 cent fee. So
Oh,
let's
okay.
say
Yeah.
let's say you cash out $300, you got to pay it. They'll take 50 cents out, and then the rest is instantly in your account. The Monday
Not bad.
through Thursday they do via ACH, so that's why it takes a few days.
Got it. Got it.
Um,
Got it.
Oh,
Uber's pretty much the same thing. Where if you don't cash out by Sunday, pretty much the same thing. On Monday they'll initiate an ACH at no fee, and it'll go into your bank account that you have set up. Typically, what I do is that for I'll start like building Monday through Sunday for all three platforms, and then Sunday I'll cash out all three, and then
oh, that's smart.
yeah, that's usually what I do. Just I let it build the entire week, and then Sunday night cash out all three. Uber Eats is the same fee as Grubhub, 50 cents for an instant cash out. DoorDash is $2. That part I'm not. I feel it's quite a bit more, but what are you
So
gonna do?
why don't you just let it sit on Sunday and then you just get direct deposit on Tuesday and just wait 2 days?
I could, but sometimes I just like to see it right away. I just feel, because between all three, I usually rack in typically like 400 a week. So I feel
It's
like,
not bad.
yeah, like
It's
two
not
two
bad at all.
dollars is not, I'm not stressing it.
Yeah, it's
You
not
don't
bad.
have the Dasher Direct card.
Not the Dasher Direct card. I have the Dasher. I do have the Dasher purchase card for like orders
Uh
for
huh.
like CVS or Acme or whatever supermarkets. I'll get those orders. I have that card, but the direct card I don't. It just goes right into my Citibank account.
So with the Direct card, the one thing I love is as soon as I end my dash for whatever time I do, it'll
Mhm.
get automatically put on there, so I have it right
Oh,
then and there.
oh wow! I
Yeah,
didn't know that.
But
yeah,
then it's on that card.
yeah. I mean, I can move it if I want to, but
See, I'd rather just
it's
have it
on
in my
that
bank
card.
account, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But see, then like if you're dashing or whatever, say like you already got your funds put aside and you're like, yo, let's go out, let's go drinking. All right, bet. I'm gonna go work for 3 hours. Whatever I make in 3 hours, whatever's on the card, that's what's on the card. That's what I'm drinking.
Yeah.
I guess
Yeah,
I guess
but
when you look at it like that,
I got enough cards in my wallet already as it is.
yeah, I
So I
don't
have a
have that many.
question for you.
I use one card, man.
One. I like it.
I mean, that's also my license and everything, but still,
Ah,
and
yeah.
my medical insurance card.
So I have a question for you. If you can dispel this rumor for Uber Eats, is it true that they can take back tips from you? So like you can accept it at one pay and then be paid something completely lower?
I've never had that. Okay, I've never had that happen to me, and honestly, I've never heard of that happening. So that's kind of new. I did have one instance where Uber Eats' system was messed up. Actually, one night where I got an offer for two places near me, paying $50 total for two deliveries. I did the deliveries. I got the $50, and 2 days later, I get an email saying that there was a glitch in their system, and they deducted $20 from me.
What? I would have been like, nope, that's your fault, not mine. Fuck that shit.
And
Give me
no,
back.
but it wasn't only me. It happened like their entire system.
Out of its
I went on forums, I went on Reddit, and all of a sudden their Reddit blew up with drivers that were pissed off because people had money taken from them because of this glitch. And I put in a complaint too, but I never heard back, basically saying, you guys offered me $50. I did the deliveries. That's not
Yeah,
my fault.
yeah, that's
That's
fucked
You
their
up.
guys can
fault.
afford to take the hit.
Exactly.
You know,
Wow.
we're independent contractors.
That's true.
Yeah.
Real quick, I will say that doing these apps we are independent contractors. So for those who are always like, man, I pay too much in taxes or something, blah 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 shit like that, right? Go do one of these apps, man. 1099. So that means you could write off your miles, you could write off your car repair, you can write off gas, you can write off any repairs. Like you could write off that stuff off. So then on your regular W2, you can then take your 1099 and deduct.
And your cell phone bill, because that's where these apps are.
Boom. So right there, think about it. If you
Facts.
DoorDash every week for a year, you can now deduct. I'm not sure if your full cell phone, but at least a portion of your cell phone, your miles and stuff like that. You just keep track of it. But right there, for anyone I've ever heard anyone complain about W-2s and taxes, get one of these apps and make those deductions.
And also to any drivers that are watching this, if you cash out, don't splurge at all. Save 30% or whatever percent to the side for taxes.
Facts.
Because
Big
you
facts.
may have to pay taxes depending on what your situation is. You may have to pay some amount, and even with all the deductions, you'll still have some left over. Just save it. Better safe than sorry.
Facts.
But the trick is to get as many deductions as you can get.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right.
For mileage wise, if you guys aren't using it, you should hop on Gridwise. You can track your mile. Yeah, you can track your mileage, and it'll tell you like how much you can deduct or how much you got paid for what you drove. Also, it tells you like the best. They have like a paid version too. I use the free one, and it'll like fill out like a tax like report for you, so it'll give you like everything you drove. But it'll also tell you like when's the best time to go out and drive, if there's like a concert in the areas, where's the best places to go.
That's cool.
Uh, yeah, it's a pretty cool app to use. It's got like airports and stuff, different marketplaces. So
Yes, I think I've heard of that one. Another one that I've been using. I've been using Stride.
Stride.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah, basically start your drive, tracks my miles, turn off when I get home, and then it deducts each session. And then at the end of the year, it'll give you a summary of what your tax, like a pretty much already calculated summary of what you can deduct for your mileage.
And it's 52 cents a miles. So
yeah.
So think about it. Think about it. If you drive 10,000 miles on DoorDash, that's $5,200 you can deduct. $5,200 you could deduct.
5,200.
But I mean, dude, think about it. If you look at that, again, not a tax expert in any way, but I understand it enough. There's different tax brackets depending on what you make. If let's just say you're right on the edge of that tax bracket, if you're up, you're paying more taxes. If you're down, you're paying less taxes. and you drive 10,000 miles for one of these apps, you can now deduct it to now put you in a lower tax bracket to pay less taxes. So think about it. Be true. Let's go. So let's talk about what would you guys, I mean, I'll speak for myself. The question is though, what is like the average per hour, would you say? For me, in just DoorDash, I would say anywhere between $20 to $22 an hour.
Okay. I'd say for DoorDash, probably like 20 to 25, depending
Okay.
on the time that you go out. Like if you go out for like lunch or like dinner, it's normally around there. Breakfast is a little like iffy. For Grubhub though, uh, I mean, there's some days where I've left Grubhub with like $50 within like an hour, hour and a half. So, I mean, it
Damn.
depends. Yeah.
So you would say that that's your average in Grubhub, or that was just like some good hours?
Probably average, maybe about the same, probably around like 25,
Okay.
25 an hour.
I would say for me, because I usually turn all three on at the same time, and I'll mix and match throughout the day. I would say during like afternoon into the evening hours, maybe like 20 to 25. Um, During the breakfast hours, which I usually just do on the weekends, those are typically a bit slower. Those could be any like 15, 20 hours if I'm lucky, but you know, feasible though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really not bad though. I mean, to think about it, if you're doing it in an area that's close to you, like I normally do it by me, and I have to drive 5 minutes out of my way to get to all the restaurants, and then just boom, 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 boom. And a lot of times in my area, it will say everything's so close that it will say, pick up an order from here, here, and here. And you're
Yeah.
like, bang, bang, bang. And you could do 3 orders in one shot.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Those are fun.
Oh yeah, those are good.
Or go shopping for them.
Oh, I hate that. I hate that.
mm,
That takes so much time. It takes so much time.
I've got a rule. Sometimes I'll do those one depending on my mood.
Yeah.
If I just finished working a long day, I'm not doing those orders. Period.
Yeah, no.
Sometimes on DoorDash and sometimes Uber, Grubhub, I've never seen those orders, at least from my area. DoorDash mostly, and sometimes Uber. I've seen some for like CVS or Walgreens where get like 3 items and I'm getting paid like $15. So I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, absolutely.
Why not?
Yeah, absolutely. But also, I use this app called Fetch Rewards where
I know that one.
basically, you know what?
But go ahead, explain it.
Okay, so basically, real quick, what it does is that any receipts you get from like in-store inside a restaurant, you scan, you get points. If there are certain items on your receipt, you'll get extra points. Once you've racked up enough points, you get like gift cards and stuff, and it's free of charge. So when I get those CVS and Acme supermarket receipts, I'll scan those. Sometimes I'm racking in like a few hundred, couple thousand points a day. By the end of the week, I could get a free $10 PSN gift card. So it's like
Oh,
take advantage.
I did
That's
not
And
know
you
that.
can do e-receipts too, especially if you order on like Amazon a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I like it.
Oh,
I've
yeah.
never done it, but I like it. But like even
So,
Ibotta and stuff like that, you can use those apps.
That too.
Ibotta. What's Ibotta?
It's Ibotta. It's like the same thing. Like they'll have things in their app that if you buy, you get a cash back, and then you just scan the receipt. So I mean, if you're doing those orders and it's something just so happens to be on that receipt that they're offering cash back on, you just some free money.
Especially when we're throwing out the receipt anyway.
Yeah,
That's
most of the
true.
time they don't use it.
Oh, they don't go to the
So-
customer.
They don't?
Oh no, well on Dash orders, anytime I get a receipt on like a CVS order, I don't give the receipt to the customer.
Oh, I normally do. I
They-
just throw
they
it in the
usually-
bag.
They usually tell us
Yeah,
not
me
to.
too. Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen like, and besides, when the customer places the order on like DoorDash or Uber, they have the order confirmation.
That's true.
Uh,
And they're
It's like
seeing
they
how
kind
much
of
is
already
being
have
taken.
a receipt.
That's true. That's
That's
true.
true.
So okay, question.
Mhm.
And then we'll talk about the good things, and then we'll go into the bad things. And then maybe we'll go for tips. So how about this? This right here, tips, good, bad. Okay. Um, have you guys, either of you, delivered liquor or prescriptions?
Yes.
Because I have done both. So weird.
Uh, Liquor, yes, I've done plenty of times, and it's usually no problem. Just show them the ID. You don't have an ID? I'm not doing the delivery. I'm not.
Yeah.
You know, that's just me personally. Prescriptions, I've done stuff like Plan B pills. Um,
Oh, you don't got
or,
to go be telling people booze. I'm just kidding.
I'm not saying who or where, but I've
Hit the hash for
done
that one.
Plan B pills, formula. There was one order I did one time where I had to pick up a box of condoms, but
Nice, nice.
the guy wanted to be safe. Okay, can't hate him for it.
See, I actually had to do a
You wanted to be
prescription
fair.
once.
Exactly. I'm like, okay.
I had to do a prescription once. I had to go to the pharmacy, pick it up. They had to sign off on it. I had to go then to the house, and then the person had to sign off on my phone too.
I didn't even know
I
we
thought that
did
was
that.
yeah, it was
I
weird.
never got a prescription, but
Hmm.
so I have a question for you guys. I've done liquor, and liquor is weird, and liquor gets very like dicey at times. At first, I said I wasn't gonna do it, but then like the prices was like, all right, why not?
Especially at night when it's like dark and you have to look at their ID and they're like, "Here, look."
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
here you
like,
go.
"I can't see that."
What's the craziest thing you guys have ever picked up?
Oh, I got you. Okay. This was an order that had two different stores. I didn't realize it was for the same person. Okay. And if I remember correctly, it was a burger shop, might have been like Five Guys or something. And then I had to go to the dollar store and go pick up a pregnancy test.
Okay,
So then when I
okay.
dropped it off, I was like, wait, I'm going to the same place. And I have a pregnancy test and some burgers. And I was like, I dropped it off and I put it at the door. I took the photo and they opened the door and they were like, thank you. And I was like, good luck.
Okay. All right.
What about you?
There was another one I had that it was like they had me pick up all this stuff at like CVS. It was like cough medicine, all blah 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 blah, and it said we have COVID, leave at door. And the same thing happened. Like I knocked on the door, or I took the photo. They came out. They're like, "Thank you, thank you." I was like, "Feel better."
Yeah. I mean, that's why you leave it at their door and walk away.
Yeah.
Right?
The craziest thing for me was, the guy. I would say the condoms, honestly. Um, Unexpected, but hey, it is what it is. Everyone needs them at some point, I guess. There was one time I did pick up a Plan B pill for a customer, and when I was delivering it, the girl was already outside her house waiting for me, and like she came running to the car. She's like, so I just opened the window. I'm like, here you go. She's like, oh, thank you so much, and like ran back inside like she saw a ghost. I'm like, okay, well, hope whatever situation that was works out. And yeah,
Just try to keep it on the DL. That's what
it's
happened.
like,
Oh, I do have another one. I had a
for it.
ShopRite order. Have you guys ever done those huge ShopRite orders? They're the worst.
nope,
Yes.
nope.
I've done them twice.
I've gotten offers. I've rejected every single one.
And I was like, but I've only done 3, but every single one has been like $17. And I'm like, ooh. But one of the ones I did, I was like, okay. And it was the last one I did. And I ended up delivering it to my dad's ex-girlfriend's new house. And I don't know if she recognized me because I had a mask on and all that other stuff. But I was like, I looked at her and I was like, what up, bish? I didn't actually say that, but I was like, oh, I know who you are. I know who you are. You might not recognize me, but I know.
Wow.
And that was pretty funny. Because like, okay, not to get into it, but This woman was dating my dad, and then all of a sudden just like ghosted him and was like, "Peace out." But like they were together for like a year or plus, like they were getting serious, and then just one night she just ghosted him, and I was like, did she like leave you for somebody, or was she married and never told you and like you were a side piece? Like what was going on? And then I went there, and it clearly like it was some either her house or like her new man's house, because there was like multiple cars, and there's no way that she lived in this house alone because it was a large house. And I'm like,
Definitely something suspect.
I see you, you sussy.
That's suspect right there.
Yeah, suspect.
I see you.
Andy, what about you? What about you?
I see you. I've made new friends in my pickups.
You've made new friends.
So you know how you can. I did about 180 of them. So I got a pickup order from a store, and I went to said store thinking I'm gonna pick up dog food, and I picked up an 180 live crickets.
Oh, you told me about this.
I was like, all right, where's the order? They're like, oh, they gotta go in the back and go get it. And I'm like, all right, cool. They're like, yeah, it's live crickets. I was like, I'm sorry, come again? What was it? They're like, yeah, it's live crickets. And I'm like, all right, I didn't even know like Petco did DoorDash, but like it's cool, like business evolving and everything. And they're like, yeah, the last person had to pick up two live tarantulas and drop it off. And I was like, nope, that shit would have stayed here and I would have unbooked that so quick.
Wow.
Yeah. And it was a far drive too. I think it was like 10 miles. So like I'm just chilling in the car with 180 crickets.
Wow.
You did tell me that. I was like, what the
Wow.
fuck?
One time that actually reminds me, I did do a cricket order at it was Petland or PetSmart, I'm sorry, up in White Plains. And it was not 180. It wasn't anywhere close to that. But I remember, going to PetSmart, and I showed them the order info, and like I hadn't paid attention. So the guy tells me, just follow him to the back where they have all the tanks and stuff. So so now we're standing there, and he all of a sudden he puts on this like plastic glove. He's reaching into a tank, grabbing crickets, and I'm like, so I look at my phone, I look at the items, I'm like, oh, okay. So like this is gonna be interesting. So he puts them all in the bag, and it looks like the goldfish, the goldfish bag when you win like at a carnival or something. They're like in
Yes.
plastic bags, and it's like
The
super
little egg
light.
carton thing.
And it's like I remember it was like during the summer, so I had the windows down, and I'm like, I'm really hoping to God that this bag does not pop in my car, because I will freak out. But no, that ended up being a decent delivery. The guy told me to leave it outside his door. I'm like, I hope the wind doesn't take it, because this thing weighed like not even half a pound. So we'll see.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, we definitely have some crazy stories. And that's just the three of us. I'm sure if we go on like a Reddit group or something like that, we're going to see a hell of a lot more weird fucking stories.
Oh, real quick, I do follow two groups, one for Dasher drivers and one for Uber Eats drivers. And actually, no, one for Grubhub drivers on Facebook. And some of the posts I see on there are just like, wow.
Well, for those who are interested in finding those crazy stories that we have not experienced, you are more than welcome to join these groups. What tips would you have someone who is like doing this? I know me and Andy especially, and it seems like you were pretty into it now too. Any tips that we found? I know, like we said earlier, I kind of go for the dollar a mile thing. Anything else that you guys would recommend? Or tips to be more successful?
I mean, for me personally, a driver really has to, I guess, like, how much are you trying to make, really? Because everyone's doing it for different reasons, whether it be part-time, full-time. $1 per mile. If you can't, try to stay within your area. Don't end up taking. Look at the info. I should say, pay attention to the info because yeah, you'll get an order because I've made this mistake in the beginning. You'll get an order. Oh, it's paying $15. Awesome. Next thing you know, you have to drive 15 miles because I didn't pay attention to the delivery route. It's like, oh crap. So look out for those.
I did that a lot in the beginning. I was just accepting everything, and I'm like, "What the fuck? I just drove 10 miles for like $4."
Yep, it's like you wasted more than that in gas. It's like, cool.
Oh, I got another one.
Facts.
If I've seen this, and I've seen this multiple times, and it pisses me off every time, and I report it because I could like put like bad or good experience at the end of the delivery on DoorDash. It will say cash tip when you arrive. And it's like, let's just say it's a $3 order for 5 miles. And I'm going, okay, cash delivery or, cash tip when I get there. Okay. Oh, it should be at least $5 total, $6. I get there. And when I arrive, it says leave at door. Or when I arrive, I give it to them. And they're just like, oh yeah, thanks. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
See, I've never seen that. I've never seen cash tip when you arrive.
Dude, I've seen it so many times, and I just I get so mad when I see it because I go 99% of the time, there's no cash tip when I arrive.
It's very rare that I see that. I did have one instance though. It wasn't a cash tip. I was doing a pickup at McDonald's. The order total was like $8, and the mileage it was like within like 3 miles, so no problem. So I did it, and it was for DoorDash. It was during one of their, plus, an extra $3 per order. So I took it. When I go to the delivery, the guy's already at the downstairs waiting for me because he had the app. So he comes over to my truck. I give him the order, and I say, no problem. Thank you for, have a great night. The guy says, thank you so much. I left a tip in the app for you. So I said, oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it. He goes upstairs. I hit delivered. Tip was $0.00. I'm like, I mean, I still made $8 from, which again is above my $7 rule of thumb. But it's like, oh, come on, dude. I just gave you your food. Don't bullshit me. Don't tell me you left a tip in the app and there's nothing there. I'm like, come on, man.
So like when you hit complete, then it goes like happy face, sad face, and it kind of gives you like the option. So if I see like a $2.50 order and it says cash tip, I don't accept those anymore. Like I just don't. But I did, and it would say like $2.50 order, cash tip, and then I would hit complete before I like left. And if I didn't get it, if I didn't get that tip in hand, I put sad face, and then I'd write in the comment, promised cash tip, no cash tip. And then send it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I did that a couple of times, but clearly it doesn't matter because it's still happening.
It's just a survey. I honestly don't think the higher ups really care about that because again, we're not their employees. We're independent contractors.
That's true.
That's true.
We're doing their bidding, and they don't care.
Yeah, that's true.
They're still getting paid.
That's why. Did you guys see that big thing that's going on in like TikTok or Instagram about I guess in this one area, just all the DoorDashers are just like declining orders. Like they all grouped up and they're all just declining orders unless it's a certain like fare. Mm-hmm. And there's just food just piling up at restaurants waiting to be delivered. But all the orders are so low that all the delivery apps are just denying them. And then there was like a photo of just like stacks of food just like piling up waiting to be delivered. But no one was accepting the orders because they were so low.
I didn't hear about that, but I can't say I'm surprised either. You know how many times I've gone to like Shake Shack, I'll doing a pickup. I see other bags of food on the shelf waiting for people to pick up. I do my delivery. My next order is at Shake Shack again, so I go back maybe like half an hour or 45 minutes later. I still see that same bag is there. I'm like,
see, that happens to me at Palace. I'll go to Palace, and I remember like I always like joke with the girl behind the front desk because there's like 10 bags sitting there. She's like, "Oh, you want your pick of a bag?" I'm like, "Sure, but I bet you the one I want ain't there." And 9 times out of 10, the one I have, not there.
That's funny.
But I think for me, like the main thing is like set yourself apart. So like Grubhub, DoorDash used to be able to do this, and I realized that they disabled that now. You just take the picture and hit complete.
It
But for
comes and
Grubhub,
goes. It comes and goes.
yeah, it depends on like where it is. But like
Wait.
you used to be able to take the picture and then write like where you left it. And I would always
Yeah,
put like "Have a great day" or
I did the
"Enjoy your
same thing.
day."
Oh yeah.
And like
If
Grubhub,
you
you could
just
do
take the
that.
picture, it doesn't let you write anything anymore. I
Yeah,
noticed for me.
exactly.
I'm like,
Like I remember I did deliveries during the snowstorm. So like Grubhub, I was texting everybody and I put the little snowman emoji and I'd be like, "Oh, have a good snow day." And like people are like, "Yo, thank you so much." Like I didn't expect that. Like everybody just like delivers them bops. And I don't know, it might help a rating. It might help your rating go up, or like if they get you again, like they might remember, or I don't know. For me, it's like that feel good moment. You're delivering their food, but you're also like making it personable, so to speak.
well, yeah, because I mean, at the end of the day, this is just another form of customer service. And I come from a retail background, so I it's kind of standard, I guess, in my opinion. So it's like, I'll do a delivery, I'll send the picture, I'll say have a great day, and I'll send like a friendly meme or something, kind of like a little humor to it.
See,
Majority of people actually appreciate that. Not everyone's just not everyone's just the yeah, whatever, thank you, goodbye. Not everyone's like that.
you'll
Some
catch
people
some
are, but
people like that.
oh, I had this old lady one time complain about my mask. Oh, that's a whole nother story.
Ah, don't even get me started. Let's keep that out. Don't even get me started. I get so angry.
Well, I have because I wear a mask with a specific design on it, and this old lady said it scared the crap out of her.
Oh,
It's actually hold on, it's actually this one.
okay. See,
Yeah.
I thought you were saying something else about masks. I'm like, yo, don't
No,
even
no,
start. These
no.
people piss me off. And I'm just
She answered the door and she was like all startled and she said that my mask was inappropriate. I'm
um, watch you give you a
Okay.
1-star rating because of it.
like, okay, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you.
That's funny.
Yeah, we're funny. All right. So with that, I think that's we can go to good stuff. Like, I mean, like you said, I did the same thing with the photos. I'd be like, oh, have a great day, have a good, blah blah blah, Saturday, weekend, night, and people would comment back, and then those comments actually added to your score because it's like engagement. So I was like, oh, cool. But yeah, I mean, good things. I like it because it's so flexible. Like for the most part, unless it's like super not busy, it could be 1 o'clock, 11 o'clock a.m. or 7 o'clock at night and be like, okay, I'm not doing anything. Let me go DoorDash for a little bit. And it just gives you the flexibility to come and go as you please and not it's like not a 9 to 5 and you're not stuck and like you could just be driving around listening to podcasts and the music and just like just chilling and be like, oh, you know what, I don't want to do this anymore. I made my money, I'm done. Okay, well, you know what, I'm gonna go back out. You could do an hour in the morning, hour in the afternoon, hour. It's like the flexibility is just great on top of being a 1099, on top of being able to write off your shit.
Yeah.
Those are things that I like. Those are things
Yeah,
I like.
I mean, it's pretty much easy. It's easy extra money. I have a lot of free time on my hands, and I don't want to spend every single minute of my free time playing video games. Even though,
I do like video
like at
games.
least like I used to.
They are
but
fun.
They are, but I can't do it for 12 hours a day like I used to.
Agreed.
So it's really easy. You're not committed to a set schedule unless that's just something you want to do. That's a whole nother thing. But you don't have to really answer to anyone, because I remember wanting to make extra money and people have was suggesting, oh, why don't you get like a part-time job in cross county? I'm like, why? So I can have another boss? No, I'm good. I'm okay. I love my 9 to 5 job. Me and my boss are cool, but it's like I don't want to go back to retail. I worked in retail for over 12 years. I left that behind me a long time ago.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
I'm
hear
not trying to
that.
go back.
I hear that.
Oh yeah.
I think for me, it's the same way. Like, you get to be your own boss. You get to work whenever you want to. Um, a lot of the times I look at it as like using it to be able to fund another dream or another project that's coming up. I recently started, if you guys want, follow me on Snapchat, SHAZAAM14. You'll get the D-Dash diaries from me. It's pretty much, will Andy break down and run out of gas today? Because the gas light always comes on, and then I forget that the gas light came on. So then I don't know how many miles I have left because all it says is low. And then, yeah, but I've been able to like kind of like engage with people doing that too. So like it's kind of like, I don't know. It's cool. Like I've kind of like created something with inside something, and it's helping to be able to fund other projects. People get their stuff who may not be able to get out. I remember I delivered to an elderly woman that was in a wheelchair. She's not able to go out. She lived by herself. So like it made me feel good to be able to, help her out. And then Grubhub, you get paid a lot and little mileage. I'll take that all day.
I got paid a lot.
Oh yeah. The one thing I don't like about Grubhub is that you unless it's somewhere in the app that I can't find, you can't see customer reviews on you. Like Uber Eats and DoorDash, you can see if anyone has left a review or what score. Grubhub, you can't see that. You can see other stats.
Grubhub, you can see stats?
No, Grubhub, you can't. Like you can see stats, but basically it's kind of like your performance stats, but of like customer surveys and customer ratings. In Grubhub, you can't.
Oh, see, I like looking at that stuff on DoorDash.
So do I. I'm like, I want to know how I'm doing.
I want to know what people think about me.
Exactly.
All right, so that seemed pretty quick. And let's not downplay that. Those things that we say are pretty cool, like being your own boss, your own schedule, flexible hours, 20 something dollars an hour, which is way better than, minimum wage jobs. But I guess we can get into the things that we don't like. And I'm sure this list is going to be pretty long. Who wants to start?
Sure, why not? Grubhub.
This is going to be a while. This is going to be a long one.
Grubhub getting the order the same time the restaurant does and waiting an hour so that way you can pick up their order and bring it to them. DoorDash for canceling out an order as I was 3 minutes away from the house, also losing the address to get there, and getting the food to them. Food was good. I got to keep it and got the half pay, but still, that's annoying. Showing up to a restaurant that you drove all the way out to freaking East Bombay to go get the fucking food. And then they tell you that the customer already picked it up and she arranged it with the driver. Yet I'm the driver and clearly she didn't arrange it with me. So now I got to drive from East Bombay back home. So yeah, that's one thing I hate.
Take a
I
second.
have more, but
yeah, take a second. We'll come back.
Yeah,
I will say for me, I'm really not a fan of cash tip on arrival because that's a bullshit. I will also say that fast food restaurants, when it comes to DoorDash, are not fast food for DoorDash because some of the longest restaurants I've ever had to wait for have been McDonald's. No, has been Burger King and fucking Wendy's. Holy fucking shit. I've had to wait like 20 minutes at one Wendy's because they're like, oh yeah, we got the DoorDash order, but and I'm like, what the fuck? It's fast food. Hurry the fuck up. Like, what are you doing? Let me think. What else? When people think they put in the right address, but they don't, which is annoying. I've had to deliver to the culinary, like a campus, a college campus, and these kids just put the main building. But so let me try to explain this. There's like a main building, which is like where like the rec hall is, but none of the kids live there. And then there's the building surrounding it that you can't walk from the main building to the other buildings. You have to actually drive. But they put the main rec building as where to drop it off. And then when you get to the main building, this has happened to me 2 or 3 times. I pull up to the main building where the address goes, and then I get a phone call going, "Are you lost?" What? Are you lost because you're not where I am? I'm like, this is the address that was on here. Oh, well, this is just the address of the campus. I'm like, but you didn't put a building number, an apartment number, nothing. Oh, well, you're gonna have to go out and then right and then left and right, then left around up the hill to the right. And I'm like, what? I'll be standing outside, and then I'm just like, left, right, up, and then I'm like, I roll down the window. I'm like, "Are you this person?" Yeah. Next time, put this building.
Put the address.
Oh, what do I hate? Right. Well, I hate the driver support representative sometimes because a lot of times I should say because I call them. So there are times I've had to call them for a variety of reasons, and every single time I feel like I get the stupidest one on duty. Well, you know, what else do I hate? I hate when I'm doing a delivery to a large apartment building and the customer will be like on like one of the higher floors and you get there and all of a sudden you see a sign that says elevators out of order. I love those. I love walking up 14 flights with 3 bags of food.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. Yeah. Just it's always that one person that orders like $75 worth of freaking McDonald's, and I gotta walk up, flights of stairs because the elevators are not working. Oh man.
I'm trying to think what else. I've had orders that other people ordered for other people, and it says knock on the door, and then people are like, "What? I didn't order this."
I didn't get this.
And I'm like, I go like this. I don't know. Here you go. And then I just kind of like hand it off, and I'm like, I don't want this. Just take it.
Man, so one thing I really hate is going to fast food spots, Wendy's and Taco Bell, and going through the drive-through and them being like, "We need you to come inside to pick this up." Why?
I always go inside. I've literally never picked up a DoorDash through a drive-through.
I refuse to go to the drive-through because every time I'm told to go to the drive-through, it's a long line.
It's never a long line when I get there, but inside is a madhouse. And the things they could have handed me through the window, I now have to get out of the car to go get. Except for Taco Bell one night, to where I got 2 orders, right? I got the first order, then I pulled up, then I got a second order while I was waiting in line because the inside was closed. And they handed me the order through the door. And I'm like, all right, cool. I also have this order. And he goes, my man, you got to drive back around. I said, what the fuck for? He's like, oh, because it'll mess up the rotation. I was like, there is literally nobody behind me. Why the hell would I drive around the building to come back around the drive-through just to pick up? Just hand it to me. He's like, yeah, no, we can't. It's policy. You got to drive around. I was like, this is a rib, right? Like, you guys are like, this is a joke. Like you're driving me right now, right? Like, yeah. He's like, nah, like real talk. I'm like, okay, fine. We'll play this game. So I drove around. Guess what I got stuck behind? 3 fucking cars. Just to wait for the order that was already sitting there that he could have handed me through the drive-through window. Or getting to restaurants when they're closed.
I've had that. I've had orders. I had an order once that it said, like, go to this place. I pull up, it's closed. And then I put it's closed, and they're like, oh, send proof. And then the person texts me saying, it's not closed. It says on their website. And I'm like, bro, photo, it's closed. And then I had to order once. It was like some like almost like a CrossFit gym. And I was like, what the fuck is this place? And it said for like a shake, like a milkshake or a power shake or something. And I go to the thing, and the girl just goes, again, she was sassy, but she was like, I don't make that. I'm like, what? And she goes, the girl who makes the milkshakes isn't here today, and I'm not making it for you. I'm like, What? I was like, I just got a DoorDash for here for the milkshake. Well, I don't do the milkshake, so I'm not making it for you. And the girl is out sick today. And I'm like, okay,
Okay.
okay.
I didn't know milkshake was a specific job description.
Yeah. And I called DoorDash and they're like, wait, they're open? And I said, yep. She's refusing to make your food. Yes. She says that she is not the person to make the milkshake. And they were like, are you sure? And I'm like, yeah, call them. And I guess
Yeah.
DoorDash called them. And then they called me back and they're like, okay, well, we're canceling the order. You can have pay. Like, what the fuck is that?
Wow, that's definitely no for me.
I had another time. It was an order at a Dunkin', and I thought it was weird. I pulled up. There was a car in front of me, already parked. As I'm getting out of my car, some woman is going into her car with a big bag of stuff. And again, I've had orders that you go to a restaurant and there's multiple DoorDash orders, so you're just not picking them all up. So I go, okay, maybe she's just picking up her own food, or maybe another DoorDash order. I go in, I show them, and they go, someone literally just walked out with that order.
Yep,
I said,
I've had that.
Yep.
what? I go to my car, I call DoorDash, I'm like, what? They're like, you guys double accepted it, and we'll give you half pay. I was like, how does it happen?
Yeah, like one order, one driver.
Yeah, I mean,
So the
unless
good
we
thing
press the
about-
button at the exact same time, but
Why
The good thing
is more
about
than one
DoorDash,
driver
though-
getting an offer?
I don't know.
That's yeah, their
DoorDash at least
algorithms
gives
are
you
wacky.
half pay though when you don't, like, if it's closed. Like Grubhub won't give you half pay. They're just like, all right, we'll take it off your task list.
Oh
Sorry,
my
you gotta
god,
go that way.
they'll
That's
give you like
so annoying.
$1.
I don't even get that.
Damn thing. Uber will literally give you $0 for a canceled order.
What? Fuck
Yeah.
that
Yep.
shit.
Mm-hmm.
All right, what else?
I hate places that don't pay attention to their terminals until you get there.
Their terminals?
They're like the terminals that they have for like their tablets that they'll have for like DoorDash, Grubhub,
Oh, whoa,
and
okay.
Uber Eats. They don't pay attention to them, so when you get there, you tell them. They don't realize that an order had come in, and sometimes they'll say it just came in, but it's bullshit. It's like, no, this is Uber. No, I'm sure you guys got this order like 10 minutes ago. You guys weren't paying attention. And
So
it's like, well, and now we have to wait 15 minutes while new customers are coming in, ordering their food, getting their food, walking out. You're still waiting like an asshole. Like,
Ooh, I'd be so pissed.
oh, I fucking hate that. Chipotle does that the most.
Oh, they
I could-
do that shit. I've
Oh,
had
yeah,
that
they
happen
do.
before.
Yeah.
They're like, your order's not there? I'm like, nope, but I accepted it 15 minutes ago. Are you sure you didn't take it? I'm like, I'm fucking sure I didn't take it.
I'm asking you, why would I have taken
And they're like,
it
oh,
already?
okay, let us work on it. But again, like you said, then there's a whole fucking line of people ordering new food.
Yep.
I can beat you on that one though, because I normally never unsubscribe to any orders when I'm there. Like, whatever, I'll wait the time, I'll get the food. Like, I feel like the customer's like counting on me to get them their food or whatever. I showed up to KFC, right? Didn't make it yet. I'm like, all right, whatever. I put it in the app. Like, they didn't start it until I got here. Bro, that store cleared out 3 times. And I'm like, you guys started the order? Oh yeah, he's still waiting on that order. I'm like, fuck you. I'm out. Like, and I just laughed. I'm like, I'm not gonna wait any longer. You just cleared the store out 3 different times and I'm still standing here. Like, you guys wouldn't have asked why I'm standing at the counter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Usually if I'm ever in a situation like that, like depending on my mood, I may still choose to wait, but at the same time, I'll turn the other 2 apps back on. So if I get an offer that's like, okay, you know what? I'm going to this place. Fuck you guys. I'm out. I'm like,
I
Yeah.
hear that.
yeah, I'm not.
See, I waited. It's just after that, like, I was gonna wait for the food. I thought it was gonna be like 5 minutes. Nope. It was like 15, 20 minutes later, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm out.
Yeah, sometimes
fuck
it just
that
ain't
shit.
worth it. Because
Yeah.
now
Yeah.
what should be half an hour, what should be like 25 minutes, a half hour to make delivery is now an hour.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And your
And then
pay's
you're
not
sitting-
going up.
Yeah, your pay's not going up at all. Yeah. Not a big fan of that. I'm
Nope.
trying to think of other things because it's just more of like the inconveniences and when you're trying to go fast and you're trying to,
Mhm.
so it's just the things that slow you down are my biggest pet peeves. I've had it once or twice when I was doing it like closer to you, but across the river, Jason,
Mhm.
like Rockland.
Oh,
And
okay.
there was 2 times that the address that the GPS had on DoorDash was completely wrong
For the restaurant or the customer?
for the restaurant. And I knew it because I'm driving, like let's just say I'm driving north on a main road and I see the restaurant here and I'm passing it. But it's not telling me to make a U-turn to go to the restaurant. It's telling me to just go straight and go right. And I'm like, it's right there.
You just reminded me of a story that I had. Okay, so there was one time I was doing a Grubhub order for a Mexican restaurant. Now I can't remember the exact name of the restaurant, but the address Grubhub had was on Kingsbridge, I think, Road in Mount Vernon, New York. Okay, so I go there. I go to the GPS. It's nothing but houses. There's no restaurant. So I'm like, so I double check the address in Grubhub and I hit the pin again. It says I've arrived. I'm like, there's no restaurant here. So I roll down my windows and I asked someone who was outside, and I'm like, hey, is this place around here? They're like, no. So I go to Google. Google had a different address. It was on Kingsbridge Avenue in the Bronx. So there's
Ooh.
yeah, yeah.
And that's a
Okay.
big difference too.
It's a huge difference because from Kingsbridge Road in Mount Vernon, where I currently was, to Kingsbridge Road in the Bronx, where the restaurant actually is, it was a 25-minute drive.
Cancel.
Nope.
No, here's the thing. This was a big order. It was paying me like $30. This was a huge order, and I didn't want to miss out. I'm like, okay. So I start making the drive. I start making the trip, and mind you, this was during the week where I had just finished working. So this is like during evening rush hour. So there's more traffic now. And going into the Bronx. Okay, so I
First
start making it.
mistake.
Yeah, but I really wanted the money. It's like that one order would have been my whole night. So, okay, so I start making the drive. I call Grubhub on the way to let them know what's going on. Say that you guys had the wrong address, and the customer now needs to be made aware that they're going to be getting their food late because it's going to take me at least 20 minutes to get there. So the guy put me on hold. He called the restaurant to verify the address. Then he called the customer. Okay. Once the guy came back from me being on hold for like a good 5 minutes, he told me that the customer wanted to cancel the order, so he was canceling it. So I'm like, and because this is Grubhub, I'm like, okay, and how much am I going to be getting? I was only going to be getting $1 for all that time wasted and and I was already, because I'm still driving while I was on the phone, I was already more than halfway there at this point. I'm only like maybe 5-10 minutes away from the place. I'm like, dude, I've been driving for the last half an hour. Okay, this was your mistake, and I'm only going to be getting paid $1. He told me to send an email the next day to a driver specialist. The next day, I sent a very strongly written email.
Plus, you probably were there for mad long because you were in traffic too, so you couldn't even turn around.
I
Hell
was
yeah.
pissed. So I sent an email. I sent a very strongly worded email, for lack of a better term. The reply I got was, well, it's our policy that we only pay a minimal amount for a canceled order. And when you drive for us, you agree to those terms and conditions. So pretty much they sent me back a big fuck you.
Yo.
Nope.
Those,
Nope. Nope.
I'm like,
Nope.
ooh, I felt like Denzel at the end of training. I'm like, you motherfuckers.
You want to do this to
motherfuckers.
me?
Yeah, you doing this to me? I'm making you motherfuckers money.
That's wild.
Oh yeah.
That's
Oh
crazy.
yeah. Oh, I got one more story, but maybe one of you want to go before I go.
One thing I don't like, maybe it's my area. I think Andy can vouch for it if it's just the area. There's spots that I see my phone say full service. Then I
Oh,
then I go to a house and I go to take a photo and like click save or complete, and it's just like no internet, no internet, no internet. And then I have to, but it says I have full service. My Wi-Fi is off. Then I have to drive away for it to work. And then it's like you're too far away from the house. And you're like, what the fuck? And then I have to like call customer service and they're like, well, if you don't have service, how are you calling me? I'm like, that's the question I have. and and they're like, okay, let's call the customer to see if you delivered it. And then that stalls for, then you're stopped for like, I don't know, 5 to 10 minutes while that's doing it. And that's annoying. Or I have the same issue that it says I have full service, but then when I try to contact the person on the app, like one time I had an order for, let's just say, apartment 2 in like a 2-floor thing. It said to leave at the apartment door, apartment 2, but the main door to the apartments was locked. I rang the doorbell, I knocked and no one answered. I went to call and my phone just kept canceling. Like it wasn't connecting, even though I had full service. So I was like, fuck it. And I just left it there. And then I left it at the main door. I walked away till my phone worked, drove away, and I handed it to customer in hand.
yep,
Okay.
I would have. Yeah. So I got two stories, but I'm gonna mix them into one because it's pretty much the same story. Um, Almost similar to yours, where you had to drive to one location and realize that it wasn't that location. So I went down to Woodbury Commons because that area is always busy, like always busy. I went down there. There's a barbecue truck, right? Now I'm driving around. It's like the first time I'm doing DoorDash. I'm driving around. I cannot find it for the life of me. I get out of the car. I start walking around, trying to find it, walking around. We're now like an hour and a half in. And I asked the lady in the truck, in one of the shake trucks that were over there, like, hey, do you know where I could find this? They're like, yeah, they're usually parked there, but they didn't come in today. Motherfucker. All right. So I cancel that order, say it's not there, say they're closed. I get another order. I take this order out to this one location. It's like dead zone. Like my phone does not work even if I want to take a picture. Like I have 0.0 service. Can't arrive that I'm there. Can't say that I'm there. I take a picture on my phone of me like leaving the bag at the door. I'm like, there's nothing else I can do. Did the same thing Rob did. Called. Took them forever and a day to recess. They finally got it through. I'm like, all right, that took like a half hour to do. Get my very next order. Next thing I know, I'm back in that area. I'm just at the apartment across the street. Still a dead zone. And by dead zone, I mean like from where the apartment was, I had to drive 5 minutes out of town before I got service again to then do that whole process all over again.
I'll tell you right
Ugh.
now, when those things happen to me, I just say, that's my sign to stop for the day. And I know
That's why
I
I
just
Yes.
stopped going
stop.
down there.
I'm like, I'm not, I'm
Or
done.
or at the very least, turn it off. Go to a completely different region and just
Yeah.
nah. I'm out. Mm-mm. I'm good.
Good.
That's why I won't drive like all the way down to the Commons, even though they're super busy and like it's good money down there. It's not worth taking the 20, 30 minutes just for them to be like, okay, here's your pay. Now you can move on.
I'll tell you though, real quick, early on when I wasn't really paying attention to the miles per dollar, there was one, I'm not even exaggerating. It was like $5 for 20 miles. And I was like, oh, $5. Hoo, hoo, hoo. And then I'm just driving and I'm driving and I'm driving. And I'm like, how much further? And I look at it and I'm like, wow, this took me 20 minutes out of my area. And then
Ew.
I had to drive 20 minutes back. But here's the thing, like so on the apps, for those who don't know, you're in an area. And when you exit the area, it says you are no longer in the area. Return to the area to resume dashing or Uber or whatever. So I was 20 minutes outside the area. But then when I came back in the area, I was still probably about 10, 15 minutes away from any restaurant that would be doing DoorDash. So then I was like, basically, it was like an hour for one order, and I was like, never again, never
You
again.
ever drive to an area because it's busy and then you get there and it's dead as hell?
Oh yeah,
Yep.
that's happened plenty of times.
Oh yeah.
I get really excited because like right off the bat, I'll get like bang bang orders, and I'm like, or like two orders in the same place or across the street. And I'm like, ooh, we're going, and then as soon as those orders are over, it's just dead, and I'm like, fuck,
Stops all your momentum.
yeah.
It's like, no, there were only going to be 2 orders that entire morning. You got them, and that's it.
That's it.
I'm like, oh man. Remember this one time I think it was a Grubhub. I think it was Grubhub or DoorDash. I can't remember. So I pick up the food. I'm on my way to the customer, the guy's address. He calls me on the way. It turns out that he fucked up. He had put in the wrong address. He had left his home address on the order, but he was at work and he forgot to change the info. So he asked me, so he gave me the address. He told me if I can deliver it to his work, which was like 5 extra miles away. So I called driver support. I told him the situation. I gave him the address. So the rep update the address on the order and says, okay, you can proceed with the drive. Then I ask her, okay, am I going to receive any additional compensation? Because I got to drive 5 extra miles now. That's extra time wasted. And I guess she must have been new because she's like, I'm not sure if we give extra compensation for that. I'm like, well, if I'm driving 5 extra miles, I better be getting paid extra. Otherwise, cancel this order right now, because I'm not going to do this delivery and I'm going to have this food for dinner. I straight up told her that. And then she put me on hold, and I think someone else came back. It's like, oh yeah, we're gonna give you like $5 extra. So I said, okay, no problem. And then I continued on my way and did my delivery.
Wow.
Sometimes these driver reps, a lot of them that I speak to, not cut out. They're not helpful at all.
Damn. I've only had to like most of the stuff I could do through like that chat, like the chat thing, but I think I've only really had to call maybe 5-6 times.
That was one time
Same.
I got suspended for Grubhub for like 3 weeks.
What?
Completely forgot
How?
about this. Okay. This one day I was doing deliveries. It was just Grubhub. This was actually back when I was just doing Grubhub exclusively. There was this one day, for some reason, I had gotten 6 orders canceled in one day, but it wasn't even my fault. It was just, I would accept the offer. I'd be on my way to the restaurant. While I'm on my way, all of a sudden the app lights up saying that the order's been canceled. And that happened like 6 times. And you know that anytime an order gets canceled, the customer is going to get a refund. So I guess, I don't know what happened. This happened on a Sunday. The next day, on a Monday, I get an email from Grubhub saying that due to suspicious activity, your driver account has been frozen. I'm like, at first I thought it was spam. I thought it was like, no, there's something's not. I thought it was like a fake spam or fraud email. So I go on the app and I'm logged out. I try to log in and I can't. So I called driver care and I'm like, what's going on? They're like, oh, we have to freeze your profile because we noticed suspicious activity on your account from yesterday. We saw there was a lot of canceled orders. So I'm like, okay, well, those orders were canceled. I didn't cancel those orders. The app just said that the order's been canceled. Just please do not proceed to the restaurant anymore. What am I supposed to do about that? And the rep says, well, we have to investigate. It's going to take us a few days. So I was pissed off because I wasn't signed up with Uber Eats or DoorDash yet. So I'm like, well, what am I supposed to do? I can't do deliveries for the next few days. Like, you guys are taking money out of my pocket now. I don't even know what's going on. You guys can't even give me an actual reason. They told me to send an email to who was supposed to be the driver specialist for our area. I sent emails on top of emails, on top of emails. I never got a reply. This went on for about 3 weeks. I sent emails. I called. By the time I made like the 5th or 6th call, at this point, I'm like, I'm cursing them out because I'm livid because I'm like, this is what actually made me sign up for DoorDash because during this span I couldn't do Grubhub. So I'm like, what is going on? You guys suspended me. You guys froze my account. I don't know what's going on. Nobody could tell me anything. I'm getting a whole bunch of I don't knows. So I started doing DoorDash. Then all of a sudden, 3 weeks later, I finally get an email saying, "Oh, we've reactivated your account." I'm like, but to this day, I still don't know what happened. It's just,
Fuck that shit.
something completely beyond your control. But that's another thing I hate. I feel like these companies don't protect their drivers because we're independent contractors. I think in the
They have
grand
a
scheme of
lot of
things,
people in the wait.
yeah, it's not like we're unionizing or anything. We're not direct employees of theirs. So at the end of the day, in the grand scheme of things, it's like to an extent, don't give a shit about us.
I've had DoorDash app like completely close out on me to where they were like, "Oh, it said you canceled the order." And I'm like, "No, no, I didn't. I was right here, almost about to get to the house." And they're like, "Oh, well, it canceled, and the restaurant started making new food." And I'm like, well, "Do I have to bring this back to the restaurant? Like, what do I got to do?" And they're like, "Nope, discard it any way you'd like." I'm like, "Okay, fucking barbecue ribs."
I love when that happens.
I've never had that.
They tell you to throw it out. They say, "Oh, you can give it to someone, or you can just throw it in the garbage." Like they don't want you keeping it. They don't want you to eat it yourself. Like
It's food. Like,
yeah, I'm like, no, this is going home with me.
ain't nobody throwing this out.
That's exactly.
This is my bag now.
Oh yeah, I had that happen. Some guy DoorDash ordered like a whole plate of penny vodka and like an eggplant parmesan
Ooh.
hero from the pizzeria by my house, which I order from all the time. Like a whole thing. Dude, he was staying at a hotel. I was in the hotel lobby. He didn't put his room number. He wasn't answering the text messages. I tried to call him. The phone number was disconnected. Okay. And the girl in the hotel lobby said that she didn't recognize the name when I showed her the stuff on my phone. And she said that because she couldn't identify who it was, I was not allowed to leave it in the lobby. So I called DoorDash support. They tried to reach the customer. They couldn't. So they marked it as delivered. They said, just take the food. There's nothing we can do. They marked it as delivered. I still got paid. I got the food. But then the next day, the dude left me a freaking 1-star. That's still on my account to this day. And that's the only I've ever gotten.
I would call and be like, listen, there's record. I called you guys and you guys said to mark as delivered.
I did call them and like they have the notes, but they said, they have no capability of removing that, which I think is bullshit. But
I think that's bullshit too.
I'm sure they probably do. That's why, like the hotels up here, they got if they don't give you the room number, they got the table downstairs that's like DoorDash or Grubhub, leave here.
Yeah. That's why I was a little surprised. Why couldn't I do it at this hotel? I'm like, oh no, because I don't know who it belongs to. I'm like,
probably some newbie.
Probably. Well, then again, the guy should have put the room number.
Yeah, true.
Just 3 button presses. That's all. Room, whatever.
Yeah. So we kind of went into all of the aspects, good, bad, in between, tips, how to use, what you pay out. Is there any kind of, we've been going for a little bit over an hour now. Is there any final things you'd like to say about the apps? I can go first if you like, unless either of you want to go.
You should go.
Okay. We did talk about a lot of bad things. And yes, like I said before, a lot of it is just time annoyances and things that are out of our control. But when things run smoothly, which is, I'd say about 9 out of 10 times, if not more, 95% of the time, it's an easy way to make quick money. If you want to do it to stack your savings, to use investment money, to save up, or just use as regular money or vacation money, whatever it is something that is simple enough that you could do and make a good amount of money, couple $100 to probably a couple thousand, depending on how much you hustle. It's a 1099 flexible. You're your own boss, and it gives you just the freedom just to do whatever you want. And like Andy does with that card, he can be like, I want to go out drinking tonight. I'm going to go Doordash for an hour or two and then use that money to go drink. So again, it is a cool thing. I know we're complaining a little bit, but again, it's just like anything, any job or anything. Like the job could be good, but you're always focused on the bad. Again, like I said, 9.5 out of 10 times. It's smooth sailing, and it's just literally walk in, show, pick up, get in your car, drive, drop off. Like it is the simplest thing, and it's chill. And if you guys are looking for extra cash, instead of going to get a side job that's paying 12 to 15, go do one of these apps, make 20 to 25 with 1099s with write-offs to lower your tax bracket and make some money on your taxes. So that's me.
Facts. For me, I'm gonna go a tiny bit motivational with it. You know, daddy, you got your 9 to 5, you know, and a lot of the times we sit here and we're like, man, we need more money, we need extra money for this, that, and the third. If DoorDash and Grubhub or one of the driver apps is something you guys want to do, make sure to sit down and kind of pick out what number goal you want to hit every week. For me, I just matched what I was making previously and broke it down to what I was making per day. And then if I hit that number, cool. If I didn't, then I don't want to hit anything lower than this. When you do that, it kind of keeps you on track. So you're not out here like kind of busting your ass for just running around and like overworking yourself, and use that extra side as your extra income to build whatever dream you want to work on, or where you would normally say or use this or that where you have the money for, and then you can build towards that. And then once you hit that, then you're like, oh shit, this is possible. All right, now what else can I do? And then just keep grinding like that. But it's an awesome way to have your own spot, your own job, play some music, have some fun with it, join the D-Dash Diaries, the G-Hub boy. But yeah, no, I like it. And I think it definitely helps people because it helps them become more independent on what they want to achieve.
Yeah, I definitely agree to that. And what I would say is, really have rules of thumb for yourself. How much do you want to make on average? How much time are you willing to put forth towards it, whether it be on a daily basis or a weekly basis, every other day or what have you? Really enjoy the freedom that you have being able to make this extra money on the side, or whether you want to do it full time. And really just understand that not every day is going to be the same. You're going to have great days where it's going to be like boom, 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 boom. You're going to have days it's going to be slow. Don't get discouraged. Really, because, really enjoy the freedom with it.
Agreed.
Facts.
Agreed. Well, let's call this the end. Andy and I have some ideas of what's going on next week, but we haven't decided. That's why we're a disaster. We don't have a schedule.
Disaster party.
We know what's happening. We
Always
just
a part of them.
tell you until last minute, and that's what you got to do to make things a disaster.
Whoa, daddy.
Jason, thank you for coming on again. If you're interested to do a Know Thy Neighbor in a few weeks or a month or so, you're more than welcome to join us for that. Those are a little bit more hard hitting, but questions, but so as always, remember to like, share, rate, review, comment, and subscribe to Disaster Party Podcast on all social media platforms, including the YouTube. You can actually follow me. I'm using my Twitter now at Mr. Hollywood with the HALLYWOOD. I'm doing all my NFT stuff on there, shilling some stuff, sharing some stuff, informational stuff. So if you guys want to follow me on there, you can also follow this guy.
Oh, whoa, daddy, at Andy Vivians. That's ANDDBIVIANS. I'm on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all over Twitter. Follow me. Follow the Snapchat, SHAZAAM14. You can see the Doordash /G-Hub Diaries of me Almost running out of gas. Will I make it? Will I not? Will I break down? Tune in and find out.
Jeez. Anything you want to plug, Jay?
I just want to thank you guys again for having me. Again, my name is Jason. Known to some as Jay Ragan. I definitely look forward on doing another episode with you guys. And this is great.
All right. So for the That's Our Party podcast, I'm Rob Stanio.
Whoa, Daddy, it's that cat, Andy Bivens.
And we are out.